On a Linux shell, you have three types of commands: internal, external, and alias. Internal commands are shell inbuilt. They execute directly from the shell. External commands are stored on the disk. The shell executes them from the disk. Alias commands are links to internal or external commands. When you hit the Enter key after typing a command on a Linux shell, the shell checks whether the typed command is an alias for an existing command or script. If it is an alias, it executes the command or script specified in the alias. For example, the ll command is an alias command. When we hit the Enter key, the shell executes the command or script linked with it. To view the linked script or command with an alias, we use the alias command. As we can see here, the ll alias is linked with this command. When we execute the ll command, the shell actually executes this command. To verify it, we can run the linked command in a separate terminal. Run the linked command and compare the output with the output of the alias command. As we can see here, both outputs are the same. It verifies the shell runs the linked command when we run an alias. The shell checks the typed command for an alias in the first place. If the typed command is not an alias, the shell checks it for an internal command. For example, the echo command is an internal command. It prints the shell variable's value. When we run this command, the shell checks it for an existing alias. If it is not an alias, the shell checks it for an internal command. If it is an internal command, the shell runs it directly from RAM. All internal commands are part of the shell. When we start a shell, all internal commands load into RAM with the shell. The shell executes them directly from RAM. If the typed command is neither an alias nor an internal command, the shell checks it for an external command. For example, the hostname command is an external command. External commands are stored on the hard disk. The shell does not load them into RAM when we start it. It loads them into RAM only when we execute them. When a shell executes an external command for the first time, it copies the external command from the hard disk to RAM and runs it from RAM on subsequent uses. The path variable contains the location of the directories having external commands files. The shell checks these directories in a sequence. It first finds the typed command in this directory. If it does not find a matching command file in this directory, it checks the second directory in the sequence. If the second directory also does not contain the specified commands file, it checks the third directory in the sequence. If it finds a file matching the typed command in any directory, it copies the file into RAM and executes it from there. If the user executes the same command again, it executes it from RAM. If the shell does not find a file related to the typed command in any directory, it returns the command not found error. To know whether a command is an internal command or an external command, we have two commands, the type command and the which command. The which command displays the location from where the shell executes the command. If it is an alias, it shows the linked command's location. If it is an internal or external command, it shows the command file's location. To know the type of a command, we use the type command. It prints the type of the command. As we can see here, the ll command is an alias command. The echo is an internal command and the cat is an external command. Alias commands are links to either internal or external commands. They are not stored on the disk. When we execute them, the shell executes their linked commands or script files. Internal commands are part of the shell. They load into RAM when we start the shell. As they run directly from the shell, they are fast. They are simple and straightforward but provide only basic functionalities. External commands are stored on the hard disk. The shell loads them into RAM when we execute them. Since they are loaded into RAM on the first use, they run slow in comparison to internal commands at the first run. They are complex but provide all functionalities. That's all for this video. If you have any suggestions, comments, or feedback about this video, please share them in the comment section given below.